Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here at THSCA Coaching School and Convention, talking some six-man football with the new head coach of the Wellman Union Wildcats. I blanked on it earlier. It's Joseph Hood. Coach, welcome to Houston. So let me get this straight. You've got Jalen Nolan at Brownfield, and things are going great, and then you're like, I want to go coach some six-man ball. Is that about the long and short of it?
A little bit of, yes.
Tell me about this transition from 11-man to six-man, because this is not something we see that often.
Well, when I first started coaching, a lot of people don't know where Spade, Texas is. It's about 9 miles east of Littlefield, where I grew up. I started coaching out there, helped start a program out there in the early 2000s. Since then, the school has shut down. Went 11-man, went back to Littlefield, went to work. Been 11-man ever since. Brian Wells, our head coach there at Brownfield, he took the River Road job. And it was just an opportunity. I've been trying to be an athletic director the last 4 or 5 years, apply for some jobs. Nothing's ever happened for me. Guy calls me and says, hey, I want you to come interview. And the rest is history. Now I'm six-man coach. And it's not as bad as the transition as everybody think it is. We're going to mesh some six-man concepts with 11-man concepts because I'm an 11-man guy, of course. But the transition's been pretty easy.
So for those who don't know, Wellman Union, this is a 1A Division II, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how many kids are in your program currently?
Well, when I got there, we had 13 kids.
13, okay.
In the spring, I had 26 kids telling me they're coming out for fall camp.
This may not be resonating with some of the listeners who only know 11-man, but like 26 is a great number.
That'll allow me to run two teams. I can run sub-varsity and a varsity team and have plenty of kids there, plenty of backups. We can move some kids around, injuries and that kind of stuff. So we have some numbers to play with now. What
do you think is the biggest challenge facing you moving from 11-man to six-man?
The biggest challenge is going to be on the defense side of the ball. I've been a defense coordinator, 7 out of my 13 years of being a coach. And, I'm going to the other side of the ball now, and I'm putting that trust in somebody else's hands. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing is me not being right in the middle of the defense side of football. I will keep a close eye on it, but I'm going to trust those guys and give those guys that leeway to take care of that side of the ball. And that's probably going to be the biggest thing for me is a lot of times you can't stop anybody in six-man.
Right.
It's outscore them. It's basically playing Texas Tech football. And so – it's going to be different for me not getting a lot of stops and people actually scoring a lot of points on us. So that's going to be the biggest thing for me.
Well, people talk about six-man being basketball on turf, and so I think for you being a defensive guy, there may be an advantage there, because you're exactly right. People say Texas Tech, right? It's score and then, just return serve and stuff like that. But I feel like, and I don't know if you agree, but maybe your defensive background could give you an advantage here because – defense for six-man football can be kind of a hard thing to achieve.
It is, and the thing I do is I go look at, film of guys like Borden County who plays great defense. And those guys, they do it, and they gave up like an average of 13.8 points last year. That's unheard of in six-man football most of the time. So, you look at guys like that, Richie does a good job with those guys out there, and they play great defense, and they kind of hang their hat on that. And, listen to Coach Ketting this morning, it's a mindset. And that's kind of mindset we're going to set is we don't want people scoring us. We want to score points because, to me, if we can get the game done at halftime, we save some wear and tear on our kids at the end of the day. So, we're going to stress playing great defense. And, I know there's going to be some games where it's going to be a shootout. And we're going to try to have to win a shootout. But, me and my guys have been talking about it, and I got a young guy fresh out of college, and he said, Coach, I don't want to let anybody score. I said, well, I like your attitude. You think like me already. So
let's win 45-0.
Yes.
That'd be ideal.
And so I don't think that we're not going to play defense.
Yeah.
I just know there's going to be some point in time that they're going to have an offense that they got a guy that you can't stop, and we have one too. So
give us a name. Give us a guy that we're going to be talking about from Wellman Union. Give us a Wildcat to know.
Well,
heading to the 17. You can give me two if you want.
I'll go with – I got one that, he's moving from Brownfield. My son comes with me. He's been recruited.
Here we go.
11-man
right,
guy.
They're just gonna sell us on your son. That's
fine. He comes in and, he brings a leadership that I don't think we had there before he got there. And he's going to help us in that way. And we got a couple of other kids, we got a pretty good linebacker, Gage Payne. He's going to be the leader of our defense.
That's a good linebacker name.
And so, yes.
That's a real good linebacker name.
And those are two seniors that we're leaning on to lead us. And those two guys that, matter of fact, those are, when everybody asks me, you have any all-state potential, I tell them those two guys. I think those two guys can get on the all-state team and do some great things for us this year.
Texas football today at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention, presented by our friends at Dairy Max. Coach, I want to ask you about getting your kids ready nutrition-wise heading into 2017. Football is such a year-round sport now, and so what are you telling your kids, knowing that, by the way, you got a game in like 6 weeks?
Yes.
What are you telling your kids as far as nutrition is concerned to get their bodies ready?
I tell them take in a lot of water. Drink plenty of water, stay hydrated. When we work out, I tell them, drink chocolate milk, drink a lot of chocolate milk, and, just tell them eat right. You don't need to eat a lot, go to McDonald's every day. Every once in a while it's okay to eat mom's home cooking. So you just tell them eat right, make sure they're taking a lot of fluids, and they're taking care of their bodies that way.
He's Joseph Hood. He's the new coach at Wellman Union. We're going to ruin a good interview by making him spin the wheel of questions. There's some good questions. There's some dumb questions. You're going to have to answer one of them. Giving it a spin. Let's see what Wellman Union is going to be talking about. This is the perfect question. Oh, I'm so glad you landed on this. So you're living in Wellman now,
yes,
right?
Sir.
What's the best food in town? Like if I'm coming to a Wellman Union game, before the game, I need a pregame meal. Where do I go?
Well, you're gonna stop by my house because there ain't nothing in Wellman. I have to feed you.
Can he cook?
Well, my wife can. She cooks dang good. So,
okay. All right.
So you come by anytime. We'll hook you up.
Party at the Hoods, guys.
There you go.
Well, I'll be there with Joseph Hood, the head coach of Wellman Union. Coach, appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.